Hello everyone, my name is Childish, and if you're new to the channel, then welcome. I finally got around to playing Dragon Quest 1 and 2 through the HD-2D remake, and I've gotta say, this might be one of the coolest ways to revisit a classic RPG series. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a huge, long-time Dragon Quest expert. The only one I played growing up was Dragon Quest 9 on the DS, and I absolutely loved it. But after that, I kind of fell off the series for a while. So, going into this remake kind of felt like me rediscovering Dragon Quest for the first time. And wow, these games hold up way better than I expected. Now, let's talk about what makes this remake so special and why I think it's a perfect entry point for newer fans like myself. First off, can we talk about how gorgeous this game looks? The HD-2D art style, the same one that they used in Octopath Traveler, fits Dragon Quest perfectly. It's like they took the soul of an old school NES RPG and gave it a watercolor makeover. The lighting, the color, the depths, the little details in the environment, it all pops in this way that feels nostalgic and modern at the same time. I did play a little bit of Dragon Quest 3 before getting this game, and I kind of played the 1 and 2 remake simultaneously with the 3, so I have a review coming out next week for Dragon Quest 3. But I would say this game's art style might be a little bit better than 3, honestly. What's really cool is how this game blends this pixel art charm with these cinematic touches, like dynamic camera angles during battles and subtle animations when you're in town. It feels alive, even though it still feels like a classic JRPG. This remake doesn't just remaster the games. It reimagines them in a way that stays true to the roots of the series. Now, gameplay-wise, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are pretty simple. These games did come out in the 1980s after all. You're not getting these huge parties or massive skill trees like you do in Dragon Quest 11 or 9. But honestly, that simplicity works in its favor. It's kind of refreshing. You start off small, just you, a sword, and a world full of slimes. But there's something really satisfying about the classic grind. Leveling up, buying better gear, and really feeling yourself getting stronger as you progress through the game. In Dragon Quest 2, things open up a lot more. You get party members, the world is way bigger, and the game takes more of a traditional story structure. It still feels old school, but the game smooths out a lot of the rough edges from the originals. Faster battles, clearer UI, autosaves, just a lot of quality of life stuff. The game is far more approachable now. You can hop right into the game without feeling like you're needing to fight the game's age at this point. The stories in these games are pretty straightforward, especially for modern standards. Dragon Quest 1 is the definition of a classic hero's journey. You're a descendant of a legendary hero. You're saving a kingdom, you're slaying the Dragon Lord. It's simple, but it works. Dragon Quest 2 really builds off of that. It's set generations later, and you're leading the descendants of the hero from the first game on a bigger adventure with higher stakes. There's something very grand about seeing how much the world has changed in between the two games. Even though the storytelling is minimalist, the tone and the music give it this timeless charm. You feel like you're playing a piece of gaming history with a new coat of paint. And as someone who grew up playing Dragon Quest 9, it's cool to see how far back the DNA of this series really goes. The monsters, the humor, the music, it's all still here. And I guess it was all still there when Dragon Quest 9 came out many years later. It really makes you realize how consistent Dragon Quest has been over many titles for decades now. One thing I really appreciate is how Square Enix modernized this whole experience without losing any of the charm of the original games. You've got full analog movement, smoother menus, and even optional features like faster battling speeds. The soundtrack's also been beautifully redone. Full orchestral arrangements that make even minor battles sound super heroic. And of course, being able to play this on the go on my Switch 2 makes a huge difference. These games just feel right in handheld form. Short sessions, quick saves, it just feels perfect for a pick up and play RPG fan. Another thing that surprised me is just how well these two games connected. I guess technically 3 if you also include my next review. These two games aren't just bundled together. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 tell a continuous story over generations. Finishing the first game and then jumping right into the second gives you this cool sense of legacy. It's kind of like watching an old movie and then seeing the sequel decades later. Except now it's all redone in beautiful HD 2D visuals. It makes the whole experience feel cohesive and meaningful in a way that I wasn't expecting. So, who is this remake even for, really? I would say everyone. If you're a longtime Dragon Quest fan, then this is the definitive way to re-experience these classics. And if you're someone like me who played Dragon Quest as a kid but hasn't experienced the older games, this is the perfect starting point for you. And if you're just someone who's never even picked up Dragon Quest before, also the perfect starting point for you. The remake strikes this great balance between nostalgia and accessibility. It respects the original entries in the series, but it doesn't make you feel like you're playing a relic from the past. It reminded me why Dragon Quest is such a beloved series. It's simple, charming, and full of heart. If you were ever wondering about where the series began, then the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD-2D remake is definitely worth checking out. It's like discovering the roots of the JRPG genre as a whole, and I had a blast playing it. Anyways, that's going to do it today for my review. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below letting me know which JRPG you want to see me play next. Until next time.